Rajan, RingIQ.tv. Today we're with the new IBF Super-Middleweight Champion of the world, the one, the only Caleb Truax.
And
what's happening? And the new.
Chillin', man.
Here we are, fresh off your victory. It's only been a couple of days.
Yeah.
First off, has it sunk in?
It hasn't yet, man. It will when I get home and I see all my friends and my family. But I'm still kind of on cloud nine, and it hasn't really. I haven't really came down to earth yet, so it hasn't sunk in yet.
Yeah, I could imagine. So just talk us through the fight, man. It was one hell of a fight. I had you winning by 4 rounds myself. I scored it 1-1-6, 1-1-2. Just talk us through the initial game plan, and obviously, just throughout the fight, what your thoughts were.
The initial game plan was to put a lot of pressure on him and just back him up and keep him on his back foot, like as you guys say over here. And I didn't think I was going to be able to box with him because he had a lot of Olympic pedigree and a lot of experience at the top level. And he's a slick boxer, slick, crafty southpaw. So I didn't think I was going to be able to outbox him. I wanted to make it into a dog fight and make him work hard and make him uncomfortable the whole 12 rounds. And I kind of took a lot from the fight with Badu Jack, with the strategy that he used, just backing him up and going to the body and making him work hard and just keep him against some ropes. And I noticed in some of his fights before that he is okay with sitting on the ropes and like languishing on the ropes and just laying there and where he should be in the middle of the ring. And so I wanted to keep him on those ropes, and I did a pretty good job of it, man.
Yeah, because it become more evident to me. I think it was by the 2nd or 3rd round what your game plan was. Obviously, it was having him on his back foot, pushing him towards the ropes. One thing, obviously, your right hand was landing consistently as well. So was that something you were working on? I think you were feinting the left a few times, I noticed, and that right hand seemed to be landing clean.
I was working my jab a little bit. I probably could have worked my jab a little bit more, but I was keeping him at bay with the jab a little bit and doubling up a lot with the right hand. And just in training camp, we made it a point to not try to load up on it. Just let it go and let it flow and nice and quick and just get it onto the target, man. Just get it onto the target and get punches to him and make him deal with it and see how he reacted to those punches. And I have a pretty good right hand. I throw it pretty hard, and even when I'm not trying to put a lot of juice on it, and I was landing 2, 3 at a time sometimes, and then I started landing the uppercut as I got closer and landing body shots with the right hand and left hook, and everything just came together as the rounds progressed.
And I think it was round 5 when he must have really realised, obviously, he took on board your power and your right hands. I think you had him hurt within the corner. There was an uppercut in there as well. He seemed to be unbalanced. His legs were sort of all shaky all over the place. Now, what was going through your head in that round? Did you think that was the beginning of the end, or?
I thought I was going to stop him, man. I hit him with I think I hit him with a uppercut, overhand right, left hook to the body, uppercut, another overhand right. It was like a 5 or 6 punch combination, and they all landed flush, man. Especially the second uppercut. Now that I went back and looked at the video, I hit him flush with it. Top credit to him, man, because he took all those shots like a champion. He showed some championship resolve in that round and stayed on his feet. And at the end of the round, he tried to mount a little rally, but I kind of snuffed that out. But I could tell that he was hurt, and I could tell that the gas tank was getting emptied at that point, and I just kept the pressure on. And that gives me, when you're putting pressure on somebody and you hurt them, that gives you even more confidence to turn the pressure up even more, and that's what I did. Yeah,
touching on what you were saying as well, I think it was, so you had him hurt around 5. He did show his champion's pedigree. I have to say around 6, he come out, he put on a bit of a fight at round 6, but then as the rounds moved into round 7, 8, 9, he seemed to be fading. He was pushing onto the ropes a lot, his work rate slowed down, and your engine just didn't stop. Come round 9, 10, you were going. There was some, sometimes we have that extra bit in between your teeth, like you were not going to let it slip that night.
No, I couldn't, man. I didn't, I think I said it in the interview before the fight where because of his pedigree and because of his experience and the amount of amateur fights that he had, he had more room for error than I did. I didn't have any room for error, and there was no way in hell that I was about to let off the gas when I had him hurt and had him backing up, because if I would have let off the gas, then I would have gave him an opportunity to come back out and mount a rally, and I didn't want to see that.
On the build up to the fight, so your training camp in America, were you sort of sparring a lot of southpaws, and he similar sort of fighters to himself?
Yeah, we brought in a guy from Oakland, California. His name is Aaron Coley. He's a middleweight. He's like 16-1, real good southpaw. And he gave me great work. He also gave me great like insight to what to expect from a southpaw. Because in Minnesota we don't have too many southpaws. I don't get to spar with them that often. And he gave me just great technical stuff and just advice on how to deal with some things that he saw that DeGale was going to try to do. And also we sparred with my man Zarzar from back of my gym and Nate Richardson, two southpaws that are local guys. So between the three of them, I was getting 12 rounds with 3 different guys at a time. So I was ready to go, man. I was in good shape.
And Caleb, just a little bit more about yourself. So background of yourself. What actually got you into boxing? So when did it all sort of start for yourself?
Yeah, I started late. I didn't start till I was like 19 years old. And I was a American football player, a proper football player, and a baseball player. And I hurt my knee playing football, and so my career was done. And I was looking for something just to stay competitive, man. Because after playing sports my whole life, I wanted something to compete in. And I found boxing and loved it, and I always watched it as a kid, but I never knew it was like available to compete in Minnesota. So I found my gym that I'm still at today, and just stuck with it. And 14 years later, I'm a world champion.
Did you ever believe back then you'll get to this stage now, world champion?
I mean, when I first turned pro, I didn't even really want to be a professional boxer. I was happy being an amateur. I was in college at the time, and the reason why I turned pro is because I was ruled ineligible for amateur competition because of how I started in a tough man tournament, and I wasn't ready to stop boxing. So it was either boxing or turn pro. So I just turned pro. Like I guess that's what I'm doing, and. Yeah, I mean, I've always been confident in myself that I could get to where I wanted to go, but being a world title holder, I mean, it's every fighter's dream, but it was never like a concrete goal of mine. It was just, if I get there, I get there. If I don't, I don't. I'm gonna have fun and do what I love doing as long as I can do it successfully. So. And
just like growing up, what inspirations what fighters did you sort of look up to growing up?
My man's Tito Trinidad, man. I love Tito, man. That's my dog's named after Tito Trinidad, but he was of the era where I really started watching boxing. He was my guy. I liked Lennox Lewis a lot. My best friend Rob, his guy was Evander Holyfield, and my guy was Lennox Lewis. So we always used to watch on his little black box and watch the pay-per-views and shit. Looking back, I love Roberto Duran. I love Ali. Obviously, everybody loves Ali. I love Salvador Sanchez. I consider myself a little bit of a boxing historian. I love watching old fights and just studying up on different fighters. So Alexis Arguello, another guy.
Really? And out of all these sort of current fighters that are around now, who would you class in your heart of hearts as pound for pound number one right now?
Pound for pound number one. Well, after that performance that Lomachenko just gave, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard rave reviews about it. Sounds like he's going to be up near the top. He already is up near the top. But I love Bud Crawford, man. He's from the Midwest in Omaha, Nebraska, right down the road from me, and I saw him in the amateurs a few times, and that guy can fight, man. As soon as I saw him, I was in college, so I was probably 23 years old, 22 years old. I think he's a little bit younger than me, so he was probably a younger kid, and I saw him, I was like, that kid can fight, man. And 10 years later, he's a world champion. He's top 3 pound for pound guy,
Yeah, and he sort of broke through as well. I remember actually watching his first breakthrough fight in the UK when he fought Ricky Burns. Since then he's just blossomed, now as I say, he's in the top 2-3 pound for pound fighters in the world. So one thing we like to do at the end of our interview, so what I'm going to do is just wheel off some random names, so people associated with boxing. It could be promoters, boxers, trainers, etc. And you'll just say the first thing that will come to your head. So we're going to start off with Floyd Mayweather.
Champion, man.
Evander Holyfield.
Very underappreciated.
Al Heyman.
It's been great to me.
Lennox Lewis.
One of my favorite heavyweights of all time.
One of your favorites, Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn. heard he's a pretty boy. I don't know him too much.
He seems to be, at the moment, he's sort of trying to break through in the US, isn't he? So
I like him. My promoter, Tony Gargalco, works with Eddie Hearn a lot. He's had Carson Jones over here. Carson Jones is a stablemate of mine, and he's had Carson Jones on a few of his shows. And I think Eddie had something to do with this fight actually being made as well. So I've never met him, but I hear good things from my guys about him.
And also, sorry, I know we won't keep you too long, because I know you're hungry.
I'm cool, man. I got time, man. So, you guys came a long way. So
but before the fight, sorry, something I actually forgot to mention I want to talk about. James DeGale. Now, I'm not saying he was overlooking you, but there was a lot of interviews.
He was overlooking me.
And he was talking a lot about the winner of George Groves and Chris Eubank Jr. Now, obviously, that played nicely into your hands, because that was extra fuel, extra motivation for yourself, and now you can take that seat. So is that a fight you're looking at yourself to think, right, eventually you want to fight that winner?
Absolutely, man. I'm up for whatever, man. I'm a fighter. I'll fight whoever, and whoever Al Heyman and Warriors Boxing and Seconds Out Promotions think that's the best fit for me. I'll fight it, man. I don't care if it's here. Obviously, I came over here to fight the champion in DeGale, and I did it for short money. Well, I didn't get paid as much as I probably should have. I didn't do it it was a full camp, but it wasn't as much notice as I would have liked. But I guess you can call me a road warrior, man. I'm a fighter, man. I don't care where I go.
You took the risk, and now you're going to be the A-side going forward. So you've earned your position, man. Thank you very much for taking time out, Caleb, man. Much appreciated. Obviously, congratulations. I know you obviously can't wait to get back home as well, to see your family, your little girl as well. So all the best to you, man. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And the new.
Say it again, brother.
And the new.
IBF Super-Middleweight Champion of the World.